Hello, mathematicians. Today we are looking at Module 5, Lesson 2, Understand Volume. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use unit cubes to find the volume of a right rectangular prism. We're going to start by looking at the spark you're learning. It says, a toy company's engineers determined that the best way to pack number cubes with 1 unit length into a single box is to stack them in the shape of a right rectangular prism. How many different kinds of right rectangular prisms could this number of cubes be stacked in? Well, our first step would be to figure out how many cubes there are. So if we go across here, there are 4, so that'd be the length. We go back, there are 4, so that's going to be 16 in a layer. And then going up, there are 3. So we're going to times that by 3, and we are going to get 48. So there are 48 cubes here. So we want to figure out what are different ways to do that. So one way to look at that is to list out of our factors to figure out what all the different patterns are, all the different rectangular prisms. So if I do 48, I'm going to start with 1 and 48, 2 and 24. We would have 3 and 16. We're going to have 4 and 12. We can't have 5. 5 doesn't work. So then we have 6 and 8, and 7 doesn't work. So those are all our factors. So that we can kind of use these to help us figure out what we can do. So then I'm going to make kind of a table here. So we're going to have our length, we're going to have our width, we're going to have our height. And I'm going to start with my 48, which would mean my length and my height have to be 1. So if I do 24, the only way to get 2 is 2 and 1. We can do 16. The only way to get 3 is 3 and 1. So I can get 12. And for this one, I can get 12 by 4 by 1. But I can also get 12 by 2 by 2. Then I can do 8. I can do 6 and 1. I can also do 6, or I can do 8, and then I can do 2 and 3. So we can also look at, we have a couple over here that I can break apart some. So if I look at, let's say like my 3 here, I can, I don't have enough, well, I'll pull this up here. If I break apart my 16, I could have, well, sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way. Sure, I know what I need. But Okay, so if we go back, so let's see. So if I put 6 here, so we go work our way back up. If I have 6, I could do 8 and 1, but I already have that. But then in order to get 8, I can get 4 and 2. Okay. So that's my only way to get 8. Then if I have 4, if I just put 12, I already have that. But I can do 3 and 4. Then I believe if I go through, if I break up, so if I put 3 over, I have 61, which I already have. 4, or would it be 3, 8, and 2 we already have. 6, 4, and 4. Yeah. Okay, so I have them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 different right rectangular prisms. Then we go on to the next page. So it says the picture shows a box designed to pack game cubes. Each game cube is the size of a unit cube. So how many game cubes can be packed into the bottom layer of the box with no gaps or overlaps? Explain how you know. Well, just kind of like I did before, we're going to see how many there are across. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 across, and 1, 2, 3 back. So to figure out the bottom layer, I'm going to find the area of that bottom layer. So I'm going to do 8 times 3, which is 24. So we're going to have 24 game cubes. So it is 8 units long. And 3 units wide. And then it asks how many layers of game cubes can be packed into the box. Well, if we look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And how do I know this? So 4 layers. The height represents the number of layers. And it says, how many game cubes can be packed so the box is full and there are no gaps overlapped? Well, we would do 24 times 4. So we're going to do 24. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So we would have 96 game cubes. So right over here we have some vocabulary. So the volume is the amount of space a solid figure occupies and is measured in cubic units, such as cubic inches, a unit cube has a volume of 1 cubic unit. So it could be inches, feet, centimeters, but it's a cubic unit. So this is the volume of the box can be found by finding the number of game cubes it takes to fill the box with no gaps or overlaps. Since each game cube is the size of a unit cube, what is the volume of the box in cubic units? Well, we said that 96 game cubes fit into it, so that means we would have 96 cubic units. And then we can go on to the next page. The craft store packages cube-shaped beads as shown. Each bead measures 1 centimeter along each edge. There are no gaps or overlaps in the package. How many beads are shown? Explain how you know. So if we go across, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the back, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would have 9 times 4, which equals 36. And if we count up or down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. So we're going to get 216 beads. In one layer, there is 36 beads. And there are 9 layers. Or, sorry, 6 layers. There's 9 across. So then it says, what is the volume of the box in cubic centimeters? Well, if each bead is a 1 cubic centimeter, then if there are 216 beads, you'd have 216 cubic centimeters. So you can write that as CUCM, or you can write that as 216 centimeters cubed. The exponent of 3 on a dimension, it means cubic or volume. So suppose each bead measures 1 inch on each edge. What would the volume be in cubic inches? Well, we would just be changing our unit. So it would be 216 either cubic inches or 216 inches cubed. And that is all for today. I hope that you are now able to use unit cubes to find the volume of a right rectangular prism. And remember, in order to be a math person, you just need to be a person and do math.